All right, guys, one more video. We did a couple of these, and we're gonna kind of put these out there. But we are going to talk about one because we talked about eye contact in a previous video. Let me kind of delve into that more, and we're going to talk about the eyes, the window of the soul. And this is an old statement that has been around a long time. And let's kind of delve into this a little bit. But please, before I do that, again, subscribe, comment, like, donate, all those type of things. And I appreciate all of that. And once again, I appreciate all your comments, and we'll kind of focus on some more comments as we go along this week. I took a couple days off around Christmas, and probably do the same thing during New Year's Eve and day. But I wanted to kind of get a few out today, just to kind of address issues. And if you guys see some issues, I know I had a couple long comments the other day, so I'm going to get to those when I can. But the idea, guys, today is talking about eye contact. Now, why is eye contact important? I've taught communication for years. I get a little eye contact there. I've taught communication for years at the college level and some at the high school level. And we want to focus on this because a lot of people don't really understand this. We don't really teach a lot of it in grammar school and even in high school, unless you're on debate or you're taking a speech class and you're giving a speech. I'm talking more about the interpersonal. Yes, of course, this applies for public speaking, but you realize that we have communication that's called verbal and nonverbal. And so when it comes to verbal communication, this is when you're talking to somebody. Now, you would think that that would make up a lot of communication. Well, it doesn't really make up a lot of communication. Most of communication, 92-93% they've researched, really is nonverbal communication. Now, nonverbal are the things that are not being said, but how they're being said. So the tone of voice, right? The facial expressions, the hand contact, hand gestures, the eye contact, right? All those things are things that affect your communication with people. This is why when people say something to you, they can say something in one way, but they can mean it in a different way. And what happens is that you get a meaning from that, a perception of that, based on how they're saying it. You could say the word I love you, but you could say it in several different ways. You could say, I love you. I could say, I love you. You could say, I love you. I love you. Based on how you're saying it, it's not the words, but it's the idea, the meaning behind it. So there's a content meaning, and then there's also the actual meaning you're trying to give non-verbally. And here's where eye contact plays into it. This is a lot of research over the years have talked about the fact that people read people different ways. A lot of times when you're talking about how males and females react to each other, a lot of times when males look at females, they're focusing more on the imaging, what the female looks like overall. And that's important, obviously, because if they're looking for a partner or they want to have, finding a mate of some sort, those type of things are important, how the person looks, right? Now I'm gonna go back to, kind of a barbarian talk a little bit here, but I mean, if you look at this, obviously people look at people and say, okay, if I'm going to have children with this person, what are they going to look like? Now, that's not going to be in the forefront, but that's something that people think about. And usually if you don't think about that, I don't think you're really being honest with yourself on that. Now, females look at it the same way, but they look at something different. They're looking inside the male. And so many females have reported this, that eye contact and the eyes are the most important. And I think once again, it goes back to the old cave person day, right? Back in the old days where females, because they're just not, as physically strong sometimes, they had to really kind of worry about being attacked. And so they had to kind of look at trying to find ways that they could figure out whether this male is safe or not and could protect them when they had physical attacks going on. And that's why I think when you look at those things, you're looking at females who still have a lot of the same viewpoints. Now, it may not be from a financial standpoint as much, because those things are changing a little bit, but from a physical standpoint, it's always going to be the case. That if you're someone who is not as strong, you're going to tend to look for people to become stronger. And so, sorry about that, my dog is back in the background. He's a protector, of course. So the thing is you look at this, and I may just hold it for a second until he stops barking. But the thing is that you're looking at people, and they will look at you in their eyes. And this is why when you look at those type of things, females focus a lot on male eye contact. And when they see that, they can look inside the person. This is why we call this the window of the soul. And the window of the soul means your true personality can be read inside. Now, is that true or not? That's a tough thing to say. I don't know. But you can tell some things about a person when you're looking at them. Do they have shifty eyes? Do they have good eye contact? You can tell a person's attracted to you. A lot of times they give off the attraction by their eyes. Their pupils get bigger. And they give you this googly eye look, right? And you can see that. You're the only one to notice that because the person's giving you that look. And you can tell that they're attracted to you. Now, how you behave, once again, is based on what you see. But if you can kind of look and master this eye contact idea, you're going to be very successful because you can tell if this person's going to like you, they don't like you, based on other obviously nonverbal types of things, like they're holding their hands like this or they're holding their fists. Obviously, those can tell. But on the other hand, the way they shake their hand, but the eye contact they have is crucial. Because when you look at a person, you're able to see a lot about them. Now, I would recommend this from the male standpoint. Females do, like I said, a much better job. This is kind of where the concept came. I think my grandmother had said it to me many, many years ago. But the window of the soul. And because females really are into nurturing relationships, they look at that. And so whether or not you're physically strong, as long as you're strong enough, then it comes back down to the eyes. And I think females become attractive because what they see inside the person. And this is where retention comes in. Because you can tell a person on retention based on their eyes. They have that energy inside of them. And 90% of your emotions come through the eyes. And so basically, because of that, all that energy flowing inside of you comes straight through your eyes. And so a person can't avoid the force, the strong, powerful, superpower force that you have when they look at you. And women are going to smile. They're going to be, a nice conversation. And they may, kind of come up to you. They may not. But you're always going to have a good interaction. And I can't tell you that my interactions with women overall have been so much better over the last 500 some days. Only because they sense something. I don't know how they sense that. You have to probably talk to a female about that. But what I have heard basically is they're looking at that energy. And if they see the eyes and that's a comforting person, then they're not afraid to talk to that person. They're not afraid to take that chance to talk to that person. And like I said, in this world we live now, a lot of times people are hesitant to talk to anybody, male or female. And this is why when you have that type of energy, you augment that with the things we're talking about in the other videos. All of a sudden now you become a super person who has that ability to attract. And this is where the soul comes in. And the level of attraction comes in because you have unbelievable eye contact. And part of it is you're not nervous, you're confident. And that confidence comes from that energy you have. So if you're a male or you're a female, work on developing that that eye contact so that you can look at people and give off that energy and be strong with that energy so that people can see your true personality and who you are. They can see that window of the soul. You're opening up the window saying, okay, I'm doing that. Now, if you're lack of confidence, you're shy, you're probably not going to have the same kind of eye contact. But I have found, because I was that way, which is one of the reasons I got into the communication business in the beginning, was because I was very shy. I wanted to try to overcome one of my biggest challenges when I was younger. So I went to college and took communication classes, and I had some great teachers who kind of showed me the importance of communication, and we see it all the time. Now I'm adding the retention part to this too, so that once again, now you have a lot of strength in your communication because all that energy is flowing out of you in certain ways. And this is why you want to conserve that energy, because you become a lot more attractive person because people see that in your eyes. And this is why eyes make a huge difference. They always say the eyes have it. Well, the eyes have it because those things that you're transmitting to people are sending a message to them. And with females, you're sending a message that you are a strong male, you're a masculine male, and women are going to react differently. Are all women attracted by your eye contact with it? No. But you're going to get a large majority of those who are, and the way they will almost shock you. You know, big smiles. People have big smiles on their faces, and you're thinking to yourself, what's going on here? I mean, it's still hard for me to get my head around this because I see it. I saw it the other day. You know, this person's reaction to you is just a little bit more over the top than it should be, as it was. So I see a big difference because of it. And there's nothing I'm doing that's different. So there's got to be something that they're reading of me. And this is why, from a deduction standpoint, you basically can say the reason is because you have this energy inside of you that they're seeing and they're understanding that. And I don't care how old the person is. You have either, if you're a male, you have young females. If you're a female, you have young males. They understand, they sense subconsciously that you have that energy that they're looking for. And that's why I used to do a bunch of things on energy vampires and all this type of stuff. And people want that energy. Now, they may not come out and say that, of course, but they admire that. They like that. They want to be around that. And there's nothing wrong with that because you're sharing that, especially with the person you want to share it with. But the idea is that you want to make yourself lose all that power because you're wasting it away through either, you know, watching pictures or with people that you don't really want to spend you're not going to spend a long-term time with, or emotionally getting angry. All those type of things are just going to hurt your emotions, and you're going to drain yourself. So, all right, so guys, the eyes have it, and make sure you realize how important eye contact is during retention and attraction. All right, until next time, guys. Battle on.